my channel. First things first, I want to apologize for kind of being MIA this past Saturday. I was in the middle of moving. As you guys can see, I'm in my new place. As well as previous to that, I had to work 9 days straight. And so I literally had no time to film because I was either at work or I was at home packing or cleaning to make sure that me and Zach could move into our new place. And so now that we're in our new place and I am no longer in school, I should have no more sidetracks and just be able to focus on filming and getting these videos out every Saturday. So today I decided that since I've been doing YouTube for about 3 months now. It's been a couple of months. And I finally decided that I should do kind of like a get to know me video. So this week I'm just going to be doing 25 questions for you guys all to get to know me a little bit better. Now that I'm almost at 100 subscribers, I feel like this is going to be a really good video for those who visit the channel. If you guys haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe and we'll just get started. So the first question is what is your full name? So my full name is actually Christene Renshaw, but all my friends and like even my boyfriend call me Christene just because like that's what I've gone by since I was 12, and that actually has to do with my sister telling me to go by that. And in one of my previous videos, it kind of talks about like why I spell it the way I spell it. So if you guys want to go back and check that out, I'll put the link somewhere here, or you guys will already know if you've been consistently watching my channel. The next question, where was I born? I was born in Seattle, Washington. If you want to get technical about it, it was Redmond, Washington. But I lived there for about 3 years, and then I moved to Arizona. And that's the next question, is where did you grow up? I technically consider that I grew up in Arizona. I spent about 7 years there, and that's where I can remember most of my childhood being, from like age 4 to about 12 or 11, so 7 or 8 years. And then I moved to Utah and I have been here ever since. So I consider most of my childhood and growing up in Arizona, and then the other half of it in Utah. So it was like childhood, Arizona, teenage years, Utah. How old are you? I am 20 years old and my birthday is April 2nd. I'm so excited because I'll be 21 next year, so go that. Which of your parents are you closest to? I am closest to my mom, but I'm actually very close to both my mom and my dad compared to all my other siblings, but I'm definitely closest to my mom. She's just like always been there for me. I've always just felt like a real comfort where I've been able to tell her absolutely everything, and I've never been scared to tell her something because I know she will always be there for me with open arms. Even like she's been there for even some of my friends more than their parents have, and so she's definitely the one I'm closest to. Okay, next one. What is your biggest fear? My biggest fear is to lose someone unexpectedly. Like, I know we're all going to lose loved ones because like people get old and people get sick, but like my biggest fear is to just like get a phone call one day and just have like Zach or my mom or my dad be in some sort of accident and them telling me that they're not gonna make it. And I honestly think that just like have an everyday occurrence that just terrifies me to the core, and I just really hope that I will never have to experience that. Okay, what is your biggest accomplishment? So far, you know, only being 20 years old, I haven't had a lot of experience with like, you know, accomplishments. But I think it's been completing 2 years of college, and I almost have my associates in biology. I like switched majors, so that's why I don't have it quite yet, but I will at the end of this fall. And I think that's like, science in general is just like a really hard major, and having my associates almost in biology, I just feel like that's just super, I guess, an accomplishment. What's your favorite old TV show? My favorite old TV show would have to be Charmed. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll put like a picture right here. It's basically like a show about like 3 witches growing up in a world where there's like demons, but then they also have to hide that they're witches because they live in a normal world where people just don't think witches and demons exist. And they're actually like revamping the show this year on CW. I mean, it'll never be good as the original, but it's still one of my favorite old TV shows, and I think I should go back and watch that now that I'm thinking about it. What is your eye color? My eye color is mostly blue, but it can change to green depending on my mood. Like sometimes it'll just like really go straight to green, like if I'm crying, or sometimes it'll just kind of look like a turquoisey, greenish blue color. It has its own mind, honestly. What's your natural hair color? My natural hair color is like a dirty blonde. I'll put like an old picture of myself in here somewhere, but it's definitely like a dark, dirty blonde. Okay, next, what is your favorite musician slash artist? My favorite musician or artist would be Demi Lovato or Brad Paisley. I'm a sucker for like 2000s country music. That's what I grew up on. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, ew, country music. But that's what I grew up on, and I completely love it. And then obviously Demi Lovato. She is just, her vocals like are amazing, and I will get goosebumps just listening to her. And just like her whole story is just very inspiring to me. And from the beginning, I've always loved her music. What's your favorite color? My favorite color would be blue or green. So kind of like my eye color. Fun fact, if you guys haven't watched any of my videos, like I've mentioned it in my Stitch Fix video, but I am colorblind. And so I recently learned that people who are colorblind, my colorblindness is a red-green colorblind. And for people who are red-green colorblind, they tend to like their favorite color as blue because that's the only true color that they'll see as its original color. Because like red-green, I don't see it as well. I just see kind of like weird shades of it, but it's not how like normal people would view it. And so they're telling me like that's why a lot of colorblind people tend to go towards like blues as their favorite color. And like I always like blue because it looked good on me and it looked good with my eyes, but it completely makes sense that that's why it's also my favorite color, because it's like the true color I can distinguish. Next, what's your favorite movie? My favorite movie is Tangled, or just any Disney movie in general. I am an absolute Disney freak, and I love Disney. What's your favorite ice cream? My favorite ice cream is cake batter with cookie dough, specifically from Cold Stone. Next one, my favorite song. My favorite song right now, my favorite song like tends to change as like new music comes out, but my favorite song currently is A Million Dreams by The Greatest Showman soundtrack. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's a really good, inspiring song for those like me who are in college and who are working full-time, and people who are just aspiring to work towards their dreams, even though it's going to be rough. You just you just gotta do it. What's your favorite subject? Science, or specifically biology. That's actually the major I'm going into is biotechnology, which is like genetics and DNA. What's your current favorite TV show? My current favorite TV show is Once Upon a Time, and they actually just ended it this last Friday. Anyways, I really love that show. It's basically around Disney and fairy tales, so that's kind of obvious. Are you a good cook? Absolutely. I learned from my grandma and my mom how to cook, and I've had plenty of my friends to say like, hey, you wanna like cook for me? Can I just come over and you can make me food? I'm pretty proud that I'm a good cook. Who is the first person you call when something exciting happens? Either Zach or my mom. I usually just straight up call my mom because she usually answers thinking that I have a problem. Zach's usually like busy or working, or I'm gonna like see him within the next 20 minutes, so I usually just call my mom first. But if I'm really excited, then I'll call Zach. Planned or unplanned? Absolutely planned. I hate when things are not planned. And if anything, Zach knows that the best because I have to have a plan like months in advance, or even at least a month in advance, or I'm like, it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna do this unless it's completely planned. And he learned this about 2 years ago when I went on vacation with his family down to like Zion's and St. George, and nothing was planned, and there was like food wasn't planned, and we went hiking for like 10 hours, and I got like super hangry, and I was super upset because I had no idea we were going to be hiking for this long, let alone like hiking the whole time without food and like barely any water. And ever since then, Zach knows that I have to have things planned and I have to have food, or else I get super hangry. Do you sing in the shower? Oh yeah, I definitely sing in the shower. It's like the best vocals in the house. I'm not sure if it's because like of the tiling of like the shower, but I love singing in the shower, and I actually say I'm a pretty good singer, but that's a story for another time. Do you have a tattoo, and what does it mean? I do have a tattoo, as you guys can see. So it's a combination of things. So first off, my grandmother's name is Gail, so Nightingale. And so that was kind of like a tribute to her. This is also her handwriting. They were able to take her handwriting and then put it on like, put it through the printer and then like ink it, so that they just like put it on and then they just traced right over her handwriting. So I got my grandmother's handwriting on me forever, and her name. That's not exactly how she spells it, but it's still Gail. The next portion, like the birds. So like I said, Demi Lovato is one of my favorite artists. She definitely has a tattoo that's extremely similar to this. It's not exactly, hers has like faith, and it's like the birds are a little bit different. But it's also like a tribute to Demi Lovato because of how, first off, her music's amazing, but she's very a body positive person. She has gone through being bulimic and anorexic, and she's now very like pushing out there to like love yourself, be healthy, like go exercise, but like main thing is to love the way you look and not to change it based on like standards from magazines. And so I definitely had this tribute towards her, and as a reminder to kind of just like love myself. So there's that. Almost done, guys. 2 more questions. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? So I would go to Egypt. I don't know, I've always had like this weird fascination ever since I was like in 6th grade. I think it was because of some books I were reading that were like based on like Egypt and like their gods, and ever since then I've just always had a fascination with like hieroglyphs and the pyramids, and how all their gods have like specific powers and they have specific rulings on what they do over, and like I've always been very interested in that. So I would definitely say Egypt, because I think that'd be just fascinating, since I've always been fascinated with that. Okay, last question. Are you religious? So I'm not really religious. I actually classify myself as an Omnis. If you guys know what Omnis means, it means that I believe that no one religion is the only truth, but that there's truths found in all of them. So basically it means that I don't classify myself as like Christian or Mormonism or Buddhism or any kind of specific religion, but I feel that each religion in itself has some truths. Like there is no one religion that's correct, and that just kind of makes more sense to me, because I don't believe that all these different kind of religions could just like pull their beliefs out of thin air. Like I'm sure some parts of it, yeah, okay, you could probably make that up, but I feel that with each religion comes some truth, and that's kind of what I believe. Like I believe that there's an entity, there's a God or something, but I don't think that there's one religion that has it exactly right. And if there is, I would love to find that out, but I think the only person that would be able to tell me that is God, and I won't figure that out till I'm dead. So anyways, that is it. If you guys want to know more about me, like this video, or just like it because it was funny. If you've even made it this far through the video, congrats, thank you so much for just being patient while I do this get to know me video. If you guys have any more questions, I would love to answer them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel or even like on social media. Come follow me. And that's it. Bye!